Welcome to Superstition, Tradition, and Definition. I'm Kristen,
And I'm Carol.
and it's Am I the Asshole Historical Edition. Am I the asshole for declaring myself a medical doctor to convince mothers to leave their children with me for weeks or even months at a time so I could use the children as part of the demonstrations in my expo attractions?
I don't need to hear any more than that. Yeah, you're the asshole.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I feel strongly.
All right, you hold on to those feelings.
I will. I know you pick things specifically. I feel like this is just for me. Go. Let's hear it.
I know how you believe, but I'm thinking there is a slight possibility you're going to change your mind.
Okay.
I was born in Poland in 1869.
Gotcha.
But emigrated to the U.S. in 1888 at 19 years old.
Right.
In Europe, I studied under the father of modern neonatal care, Dr. Pierre Boudin, to earn my medical degree and license. Actually, I did read every article written by and about Dr. Boudin.
Oh.
And it was difficult to prove European college studies and licensures after immigrating to the U.S.
So you just ingratiate yourself. Is that it? Look at everything I know. I've read all your work. I'm a genius.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
I set up at several fairs and expositions across the U.S. from 1898.
Did you say exposition?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's not an expedition.
It's not an expedition. No, there were no adventures.
Well, I thought maybe there was an adventure. Take your baby on an adventure.
No.
Okay.
These babies didn't need to be going on any adventures.
Apparently not. They're playing with it as it is.
That's right.
Good God. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll quit fucking with you. Go ahead.
From 1898 until 1940.
Okay. With
a couple of permanent exhibits running from 1904 to 1943.
Okay.
Many claimed I was exploiting the babies. They didn't understand the reason of the exhibition. Many claimed it was a waste of time. Those that did understand and believed in those were the ones who did understand, but believed in the popular theory of eugenics.
Oh.
Because of a lack of understanding of medical proficiency and of eugenics, premature babies were not receiving the care they needed.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Do you?
Dick. Probably.
Better baby contests were popular at state and local fairs at the turn of the 20th century. Judges and spectators would weigh and measure babies and children like livestock, and weaklings were declared unfit to survive into adulthood. They weren't like put down or anything.
Well, thank God. That's what it sounds like.
You just calm down.
I'm just going to pitch this one over here in the ditch. No. God. Wow. Okay.
Little was done to help those children.
I see.
Until I came along, that is.
Thank God for a hero.
With
non-medical hero.
With the
Why waste your time on that pesky medical degree?
I mean, for real.
Uh-huh.
Until I came along, that is, with the knowledge I had acquired in Europe.
Okay.
I tried to convince American hospitals to focus more on neonatal care.
Okay.
I couldn't read my own handwriting for a minute.
Okay. Do you want some help? You want me to,
maybe.
What if I do this?
That makes it difficult.
Can you read it all the way through my hands?
I cannot.
Okay. All right. We're back.
Okay. I quickly realized the lack of interest. I took my demonstrations to fairs and expositions. I set up incubators for premature babies, hired round-the-clock nursing care and wet nurses. My incubators were clean, kept a steady warmth on the frail babies. I knew I had to do something about impurities from the airway for the babies, so I filtered the air in the pipes running into the incubators through wool saturated in antiseptic and then through dry wool. The air was constantly circulating through the incubators, refreshing the air the small infants were breathing.
And he didn't gas them with the antiseptic.
He didn't.
Okay, good. I'm glad we had a good mixture there. Instead of just like, here,
Right.
good luck.
I set the babies in their incubators in pavilions and exposition centers, or center displays, charging the curious 25 cents to gawk at tiny humans. The money I earned from the exhibits paid for the care of the babies. I never charged the parents.
Okay. He just lied to the parents.
No.
He's not the one who lied to the parents under false pretenses to get them to. Oh, maybe.
Okay,
maybe
just
lied. Maybe lied to the parents a little bit.
We'll get into that in just a sec.
Is it not lying? Because you already said that.
I mean, kind
Are
of.
you trying to backtrack here?
No.
This is a bunch of double talk. Did you make all this up? Okay, great. Let's go.
I cared for approximately 8,000, saving at least 6,500 premature babies, including my own daughter, who was born in 1907, 6 weeks early. I had an 85% survival rate.
I like babies.
I know.
Okay.
I know you do. You like babies a lot.
Yeah. It's just too bad he lied. I would be upset if somebody lied to get close to my kid and then.
See, okay, so here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
They haven't proved that he did lie, but they haven't proved that he did have the medical degrees. So it's speculation. He never produced one. He never proved one. It's speculation.
He just led people to believe. Maybe a little bit. He's
he's
probably dead, so we can feel free to.
Yeah. He referred to himself as a doctor.
Okay. If I refer to myself as a doctor, is that okay?
I mean, if you need me to call you Dr. Carol, I got you.
Okay. Dr. Carol is the name of the doctor that birthed me. I think that's interesting. Not named after him.
Not.
But anyway, throw that little bit of Carol trivia out there.
All right.
Right on, yeah.
Right on.
You know? Yeah. I'm glad he saved all those kids.
He did. He did. And he claimed...
I'm not somebody who goes, well, you lied for the greater good. I mean, I get it though.
They don't know for sure he did lie.
You should be a defense attorney.
They don't know for sure.
They got a pretty strong
it's
inclination
just based on timing. I mean, unless he was a super genius, you don't earn a medical degree by the time you're 19 years old.
Was he a super genius?
Very well.
Did he earn it? Did he lead himself to be portrayed as someone who's older than 19? Is this what happened? He just said, hey, I'm 19. Doctor, whatever my name is.
Well, according to him, he interned under Dr. Boudin.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
read all of his work.
I made that part up. I made that part
Why
up
are you
for
making
the story.
Things up?
So the speculation of whether or not he was an actual doctor comes from the fact that he's claiming to have studied neonatal care under Boudin. However, he had immigrated to the U.S. at 19.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no definitive he didn't, but there's no actual proof he did.
He didn't. You know. You can say it.
What I know is he claimed to have, but nobody has been able to prove it.
He lied. You know he did. Common sense tells us such things.
That is the theory. Common sense. That's why I threw in, I read every article. Because, you know.
Right. Gotcha.
So, at this time, this was at the start of like the whole eugenics movements.
Too bad that's a movement.
It really is.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, it is about.
Wouldn't be a movement if you were the one being.
1 in 10 babies.
I can't even.
1 in 10 babies are premature.
Yeah.
And they were born and then sent home by the hospital because they had no way of, they had no knowledge.
Saving them. Mercy.
until these guys came along. So Boudin was in France, setting up, and he pretty much did the same thing, was demonstrating at expositions and fairs and that kind of thing.
But not on an expedition.
Not on an expedition.
They didn't go to like Alaska or Canada. Thank goodness.
No.
Thank goodness.
No.
Just saying.
But they did travel all over Europe with them.
You got to be hardy for such things. Okay. Traveled all over Europe, proving their point.
Proving their point.
Okay.
Putting these babies in incubators.
Keeping them
and
warm.
saving them.
Warm and clean.
Keeping them warm and clean, fresh air.
Okay.
Running the impurities out, all of the good stuff.
Better for the lungs.
So
the last thing to form.
This man's name is Martin Couney.
Okay.
He ended up marrying one of his nurses in the U.S.
Oh.
They had a baby.
Okay.
Hildegard. Hildegard was born.
Did they call her Hildy?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hildegard is a long name for a baby.
It is a long name for a baby. It's bigger than baby.
It is bigger than the baby.
Hildegard ended up being a nurse also and ran one of the expositions with her father for years.
How about that?
He was set up on Coney Island. It was part of Coney Island.
Okay.
And then there was another one in New York. One of them ran for almost 40 years.
Really? How many babies did they save?
6,500 altogether.
Altogether?
Yeah.
I know you said that. I didn't know what period of time that was over.
That was over the whole.
Think about the impact on the world with 6,500 people that maybe wouldn't have made it.
Maybe wouldn't have made it, yeah.
Who went on to have jobs and families and friends. Interesting. Okay, well, good on you, dude.
That's right. The process for intake, they get the babies. They immediately bathe the baby. They rub the baby down with alcohol. Swaddle the baby.
Okay.
Give the baby a drop of brandy and stick it in the incubator.
Well, who doesn't like a drop of brandy?
That's right.
I mean, come on, give it up.
That's right.
Sometimes you just got to sleep.
That's right.
It's raining.
The incubator stayed a steady 96 degrees.
Oh. Not quite hot enough to cook you. Just hot enough to keep you warm.
Right.
Not quite where you're supposed to be, but you're not going to get cold.
He was also a firm believer in the benefit of breast milk, especially with premature babies.
Okay.
So he had, in addition to nurses, he hired wet nurses to nurse the babies. You would not keep your job as a wet nurse if you were caught smoking, drinking, or eating hot dogs.
Hot dogs right up there with cigarettes, huh? Was it back before it was all carcinogen and all this shit? Or does he just not like hot dogs? He's like, dude, I got me a bad hot dog one day on Coney Island. I went and rode the roller coaster and then I puked everywhere. It is the hot dogs.
It was the hot dog.
It's the hot dog's fault.
Yes.
Bitch, don't you eat that hot dog.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At that particular time, it cost $15 a day to care for one baby in one incubator.
Okay.
Today, that'd be about $400 a day.
That's about right.
And he never charged the parents at all. He made enough money.
It's like the Shriners.
Yeah. He made enough money from having them on display to provide their care.
Your baby on display.
I mean,
they started somewhere, I guess. Gotcha.
Yeah, people paid 25 cents to walk through this circle and gawk at little tiny babies laying in an incubator.
Getting warm. With their brandy breath.
He took
little babies. They're supposed to have like milk breath. Wonder how many of them grew up to have drinking problems.
I mean, it was just a drop, Carol. Calm down.
Drop every day?
No.
Drop every 3 hours?
No, just a drop at intake. And I'm not sure why. Probably like sterilizing their innards, I guess. Because they rub the outside down with alcohol.
Yeah,
and clean the inside with it.
The inside down too.
Okay, you're right. I'm probably wrong about that.
Bella.
She's so judgy.
She's hateful. She doesn't want us here.
I know. That's why we have to stay.
I can't be any more still than I am. Listen to her growl.
I know. She's serious.
She knows we're talking shit about her. Bad dog.
Mm-hmm.
Grr. Okay.
So this was a time.
I'm going to say he's not the asshole for saving babies.
He's not the asshole.
He just went about it, you know.
If some dude,
And he probably tried to go about it the proper way
He
before
did.
that, and nobody listened.
he tried to present all of this to hospitals,
So then
and
he
they're
lied to
like,
get his way.
I don't think that's going to work. So then he had to prove that it did.
Okay.
Um,
So he just worked his magic.
mhm. They closed. He and his daughter, Hildegard. Hildy.
Yep, we're on nickname basis here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I guess so. I don't know.
They closed their whatever you want. I don't really know what they called it. They called it
Their
an
show.
infantorium.
They're an infantorium. That sounds terrible.
I know. That's
like
what they called it.
crematorium and
It was a collection of infants, but they closed theirs in 1943.
like a library is a collection of books.
Uh-huh. This was a collection of infants,
Oh, tiny babies.
of premature
Oh,
infants.
it's a baby brary.
But they closed because Cornell Hospital in New York finally opened a premature infant station
Well,
in
okay.
1943.
In Cornell. So it's not that. It's within lifetimes here. Within
Yeah.
a lifetime, not my lifetime.
Yeah, there
but-
are babies that lived in these infantoriums for weeks. I know. That are still alive today.
Oh, I'm sure. Saved them.
So he saved them, yeah.
Somebody had a good idea. He just couldn't get people behind it, apparently.
Right.
Okay.
Like he started this.
He's less of an asshole than he was when we started out with your inflammatory comments to make me emotional. That's what you did. And so is Stella.
It wasn't inflammatory.
It was a little bit.
It was truthful.
Lied to the parents to get his way and gain access to their
I
children.
didn't say he lied. I said for declaring myself a medical doctor.
Is he a medical doctor?
We don't know.
You do too now.
I don't know.
Lie. Liar.
This
Lie. 19-year-old doctor.
This Boudin guy is dead. I can't call him up and ask him.
Quit pointing at shit and acting like you're all no. Bad. You know it.
We don't.
We do.
He could have been a child genius.
He wasn't.
You don't know.
I do too.
You didn't talk to him either.
I have.
You have not.
Just right now.
Yeah.
I feel him in the air around us, and he's like, you know what? I lied.
Well,
Yep.
even still, he
Nope.
saved the babies.
He
so
did save the babies. I would lie to save babies too.
That's
So,
right.
okay.
That's right.
But
But
the way this started, lied to parents to get access to their children.
this look at the handy dandy composition
Okay.
notebook.
Yes,
Where
yes.
in here does it say he lied?
Declaring myself a doctor to convince mothers to leave their children with me for weeks or even months at a time. Lie. Declaring myself a doctor. If you're a doctor, you don't have to go, I declare I'm a doctor. You just are. You just are. Stop.
If you
You
don't know, if
Nope.
if a person walked into the room right now that had a doctorate degree, was a medical doctor, would you know he was unless he declared it?
Yes.
If he wasn't in scrubs
No, I'm just.
with a stethoscope around his
I
neck?
am slick like that. I would be like, hey, doctor. And he'd be like, yes.
If
I
he
am a
was in
doctor.
sweatpants and a t-shirt, and you would be like,
He'd have that look about himself. And you know what he wouldn't be was 19 years old.
I mean, there is that.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's
We're
that.
gonna hold on to that. Not a 19-year-old doctor. Didn't even if he'd been out of high school, he was out a year. He didn't
Okay,
go to
but
college, he
also-
didn't go to medical. Put your finger down.
Also, he didn't start anything in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It started in 1898, so he was 29 years old at the time.
Oh my God. So he has all of this experience and got his
He had
PhD and all this jazz. No.
Been in the U.S. for 10 years.
Right. Misrepresenting himself. We'll call it misrepresentation. I'm sorry that you thought I was a doctor since I declared myself a doctor. That's not technically a lie, but it is. You know. You know it is.
What I know.
You know it is.
What I know.
You're going to be over here devil's advocating bullshit.
I know he had all of the knowledge.
No. He had all the guesstimations.
Putin had.
No.
As far as building, setting
what
up,
if
Putin's
Putin's work was wrong?
Then 6,500 people wouldn't have existed on the earth.
There's more than that. There's millions, billions of people on the earth.
I'm saying the 6,500 he saved. If Putin had been wrong.
You didn't declare the 6,500. You just said 6,500. So I was confused with your misrepresentation of things. We're going to just be able to go round and round about this. So we might as well just call it.
All right.
Thanks for coming in and seeing us, hanging out with us, listening to us. Well, he's maybe a bit of an asshole. I wouldn't care for somebody to lie to me and get access to my children. That's, you wouldn't like it either.
I would
you?
Love him for saving my teeny tiny baby.
Yes, we love him for saving the teeny tiny babies. I didn't have to worry
about that. I had large babies.
I did too.
My babies would have eaten those babies.
My babies were very big babies. They tried to kill me. They did. 9'6" was Alex. My twins were 7'7" each, and they were 3 weeks early. They were going to be 10-pounders. I was going to die.
All three of mine were 3 weeks early, and Ellie was almost 10 pounds.
No.
She was 9'15".
Not that sweet little thing.
Yeah, Ellie could have eaten one of these premature babies. She was 9 pounds, 15 ounces.
It would have been some survival of the fittest. It would have been the Lord of the Flies, wouldn't it have been? I'm stronger than
idea.
you.
I don't know what the Lord of the Flies is.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
I'm sure so.
I really don't. I have no idea.
I thought certainly you would have read it. We'll discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
I've never read the Lord of the Flies. I don't want to be a Lord of Flies.
No, but maybe in this you'd want to be at the top of the food chain.
Aren't I already?
Well, you will. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe. Follow us.
And watch us on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
What other days? Thursdays, but
life has been happening, and
life has been happening. We've been,
I've been failing with the Thursdays.
We're working on it.
We're
working on it. Stick with us. You know how it is. Bye. I love you.
I have a fondness.
Yes, she does.